Hi, I finished the third from the book A Long List, Universality by Natasha Brown. I haven't read any Natasha Brown before, so this is the first time I've picked her up. And this one, remember, words are your weapons, they're your tools, your currency. And this is a novel that I come across novels like this sometimes, but I don't think that I'm the right audience because I don't think I sometimes don't think that I'm clever enough to know what they're talking about. For all of my aged years and education and stuff, I sometimes think that sometimes these books go a little bit over my head, and I think this is possibly one of them. This is what I think it's about, right? I've probably got it totally wrong. And I think also looking at reviews, this is a book that's a little bit divisive. But I think it's about a society that's trying to talk about privilege and diversity and everything else that's we're bombarded with in the media at the moment. At the same time, a society that's trying to find out where they fit. Because there doesn't seem to be a solid structure anymore. That this is what I came away with. I mean, I'm probably totally wrong. And the words, the language that's being used by the murderer, by the media, as it says here, words are your tools, your currency, your weapons. Words, language is becoming more and more powerful. This is a novel told in multiple perspectives. We start with a newspaper article about an illegal rave at a farm. And during an illegal rave, it was illegal because it was during the COVID lockdowns when you shouldn't have been having raves anyway. And a young man attending this rave assaulted the leader of the Universalists with a gold bar. The Universalists, a young political group whose aim is to promote an alternative lifestyle. And the leader of this group was assaulted with a gold bar. A gold bar that was stolen by the guy who hit him over the head with it. As the novel progresses, you get different perspectives, different voices. You have the perspective of a disgraced banker. And this disgraced banker was the owner of this bar, this gold bar. You've got the perspective of the journalist who wrote the article, a young woman who was on the sidelines for years and years and years, and then suddenly this story arrived. And they all seem to have their own different views. There doesn't seem to be a reliable narrator anywhere. Again, this is me talking. This isn't universal truth or anything like that. This is what I picked up. So these opinions are just purely mine. Nobody else's are mine. So there doesn't seem to be a reliable narrator a reliable narrator anywhere. But you can see how words are influencing the media. Sorry, words are influencing the readers. How when you watch an interview on TV or anything like that, the language used there is again influencing, manipulating. We've also got Miriam Leonard, or Lenny as she's called. And she's a well-known writer, and her bestseller was a book called No More Woke. And she's another person whose use of language is very fluid. But she's a real powerhouse. The last section is an interview with her at a festival. And her speech at the end is, well, she says, you hear how I speak like a normal person because I am. But is she? Because her speech is full of language that is, well, on the face of it, is common sense. But then, you know, is she just as manipulative in her use of language as everybody else? You know, here in the UK, there seems to be alliances and factions forming, all guided by the media. And you've got sections of the community, sections of the population becoming marginalised because of this use of language. And I'm sure the UK isn't the only place where this is happening. But I think this is a very sophisticated novel. And as I've said, as I'm doing it, I don't know whether I've fully understood what it is she's trying to do with it. But I think, as regards to the book list, I think this'll probably move up. It was shortlisted for the Folio Prize, the Goldsmiths Prize, and the Orwell Prize. So it is a book that is got a lot of kudos with it. So I think it will do well in the bookers. I don't know. For me, it's a book that I've come away with thinking, have I really got what she's trying to say? So, that is Assembly by Natasha Brown. Happy reading. Take care.